This is Note-Taking Guide 4.9, Graphing Systems of Inequalities. So we've graphed already once this unit, so I'm going to go rather quick as I go through this, but this is just a reminder of how to graph an inequality. This part right back here tells us our y-intercept, so we're starting down at -1, and we're just going to draw a point there. And then we're going to follow our slope. Our slope would be 2 over 1 here, so I'm going to go up 2 and over 1 to my next point, up 2 and over 1, up 2 and over 1. Now this line right here is going to be solid, not solid, it's going to be dotted because it's missing that equal to sign. So as I draw that line, I'm going to make it dashed. And then I'm going to decide whether or not I'm shading above or below the line. Because my y's are greater than the line, my y's get bigger up here at the top, so I know I'm shading everything to include the y's that are bigger than the line. So just up here. The next one's not ready to graph yet because it's not solved for y. So the first thing I'm going to do is subtract that 3x over to the other side so that it is solved for y. And I'm just going to come right over here if I can. It's going to be 6y equals a negative 3x plus 12. And when I did that equals, I should have done less than or equal to, so forgive me for that. We're going to solve still for y, so we're going to divide both sides by 6. When we do that, we have to divide everything by 6. So we have y is less than or equal to 3 divided by 6 is 1/2 x, and then 12 divided by 6 is 2. So we're going to start up at 2 with an ordered pair. We're going to follow our slope up 1 and over 2, up 1 and over 2. This is a solid line this time because of the equals to sign. And because my y's are less than the line, I'm shading everything below the line for my solution. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take two equations or two inequalities and graph them on the same graph. So I'm going to do this one a little bit different and not scribble when I'm trying to graph, because my answer to this is actually the overlap part. So if I'm going to graph this one first right here, I'm going to start up at 3 and draw a point. And then from there, I'm going to follow the slope, which is 1. So I'm going to go up 1 and over 1, up 1 and over 1. So I'm actually through these ordered pairs. Because it's not got the equals to sign under it, it's going to be a dotted or a dashed line. And then it says my y's are less than the line, so I'm actually shading below. But instead of scribbling right now, I'm just going to draw arrows that remind myself I'm shading below this line so that I can keep it a little bit nicer looking. Now I'm going to graph the second equation, y is greater than or equal to 2. So I go on my y-axis to 2 and I draw a point. And then because there's no slope, we know this is a horizontal line. The horizontal line is solid because of the equal to sign. And because my y's are greater than the line, I'm going to shade above the line. I'm just going to draw some arrows here to show which way I'm shading. Now I'm looking for the overlap part for my solution. So the overlap part is the part that is my solution. So when I shade it, I'm actually shading this part inside here as the solution to my two inequalities. Let's try it again. Okay, the next one is ready to graph as far as an inequality goes. So we're going to go up to 4 and draw our ordered pair. From there, follow our slope, which is down 2 and over 3. So we're right here. It's going to be a dotted line through there because there's no equal to sign. And then it says my y's are less than the line, so I know I'm shading this direction. Again, just going to do some arrows because I'm looking for my overlap part. Okay, this next part I have to actually solve before I can graph. So let's rewrite the equation and solve it. Alright, so I'm just going to rewrite that problem over here so that I can solve it for y. I need to get y by itself, so the first thing I'm going to do is add that 2x over to the other side. So I'll have 6y is greater than or equal to 2x plus 6. I have to divide both sides by 6. So I get y is greater than or equal to 1/3 x plus 1. I'm going to start up at 1 on that, and follow my slope up 1 and over 3. It is this solid line going through those two ordered pairs, and I'm shading everything above because it's greater than. So what I'm doing here now is I'm looking for my overlap part. My overlap part is this part inside this kind of triangular area. So my solution is the part that I shaded yellow. All right, this one's ready to graph, so we're just going to get started on it. We're starting down 4. We follow our slope up 2 and over 3. It's a solid line because of the equal to sign. And I'm graphing or shading everything above it because it's greater than. So up here. My next one is ready to graph also. There's not a number added back here, so it's like starting at 0. And then my slope would be a -1, so down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1. It's going to be a dotted line because there's not an equals to sign there. And I'm shading everything below it, which would be this direction. So again, looking at my overlap shaded area, my solution would be over here. All right, one last problem to do here. That top one's not ready to solve or graph yet. It needs to be solved. So I'm going to rewrite it. I have 3x plus 15y is less than 15. I'm going to subtract the 3x to the other side. So I get 15y is less than -3x plus 15. Divide both sides by 15. And I get y is less than -1/5 x plus 1. So I'm going to start up at 1, and I'm going to follow my slope down 1 over 5. So right there. My line is going to be dotted. I'm going to do my best to get this to go through those two ordered pairs. That was pretty pathetic. And then I'm shading everything less than that, so I'm shading this direction. All right, my next equation is y is greater than or equal to 1. So I'm up at 1 on the y. There's no slope to this line, so I've got a horizontal line here, and I'm shading everything above it, which would be this way. If you notice this time, my overlap part is really small. It's right here in between here and there. So my yellow part here that I'm doing would be my answer, would be the part that's shaded as the solution to these two inequalities. Good luck on your homework.